Oh boy, as a Gen Sigma that was born in 2025, I always enjoy surfing on my old classmates and see what they're up to today. Oh boy, I found one of my old yearbooks. That is so cool. Our parents gave us such great names. Oh, it was like yesterday I met, oh my god, Unhinged. Oh, that was so beautiful. I always had a crush on Rocco Crass. He was always very good. Gallo Diesel was always a little bit of a weirdo. And Barry Shriver, Popular Girls, and Erodrion, disgusting. Maybe our parents should have given us simpler names.
Well, good evening, laddies, lasses and lasses, and welcome to the click. You smell amazing today, and don't let anyone else lie to you and tell you otherwise. Available right now is the Birthday Sprinkle Emotional Support Demon. It's so freaking cute. Oh my god. Make sure to check it out. Link in the description below before it's gone forever. And also, we have the pins from the demons on r/place available now as well. They come in multiple colors, and it's so beautiful. Oh my god, make sure to get them before they're gone forever. Speaking of things that are absolutely unhinged, have you also noticed the wild parenting trends of parents naming their childs things that are completely incomprehensible? You know your child is gonna struggle in school when they can't spell their first name until they're 18 years old. I'm just gonna love the reunions in like 2 decades from now when high school students come together and be like, oh, hello there, Berksley-Layla. How are you doing this fine decade? It's gonna be great. So today we have gathered to critique and laugh about the wild naming trends that parents have chose for their poor children. Well, this is one battle us millennials sure as hell are not winning. We thought we were gonna bring like good parenting around, but instead we replaced all the old unhinged with just new unhinged. Enjoy. My mom named me after Naruto. Salad Ninja Egg. Can you actually do this? Is it legal in the US to just name your children whatever the heck? Like at some point it has to just count as child abuse, right? It's like, oh, that's a cute baby. What is he called? Oh, little dog what a cute name. Imagine when you go to your first job interview and your name is dog What? One of my cousins' list she sent my sister of name ideas. Alright, we have Catamaranda. So it's like a female catamaran. Catamaranda. Brixlin. Tork. You know, in Swedish, tork means to dry something. Oh, man torkar sig I röven efter man är på toa. Oh, tork. Quintorius. Lasagna. Lusange? Is it lasagna or Lusange? Both are bad. Is that supposed to be Veronica? Verovnica. I swear to God, you're giving your children dyslexia on purpose. Christyle, Brentley, Maclin, McKinley, Nicole, Jack Zinn, Paxtine. Why is there not a single name that is just spelled normally? I swear to God, what is your cousin doing? Yes, Catamaranda, the lesser-known female catamaran. I called it! I saw exactly the same thing. Maybe the family is really into catamarans, so they wanted to name their child after that beautiful catamaran where they were conceived, which is an equally cursed method of like choosing names for your children. Don't do that. We named our child Paris because we conceived them in Paris. Like, don't name your child after the... Okay, no. My daughter is called Taylor. She's 16 now. Anytime anyone try to call her Ty, I'll pipe up with La. Safe to say it isn't shortened. r/tragedy. You have done your child a great disservice. You know when you spawn into a video game and you can sometimes choose the difficulty. This is someone else choosing your difficulty for you. They just turn down one of your sliders and be like, nah, life is too easy for my little child, so I'm gonna name them Tail. Their name just sounds like Arnold gargling, doesn't it? Her name is Cloggy. like a clogged toilet. No, is it supposed to be Chloe? There's no way in hell this is Chloe. It's Cloggy. I'm calling her Cloggy. Okay, it's your fault your child is being bullied. My daughter narrowly escaped the tragedy. This is a story about 19-year-old me as a mother. I lived in Jamaica, got pregnant at 19, and watched way too much Days of Our Lives. There was a little girl on that soap opera whose name was Abigail, and I loved it. It was never a name that was common when I was growing up, so I never saw it spelled. However, Gail was a common name. When it was time to register her name, I spelled it as Abigail. Luckily, Jamaicans can be nosy, and the guy at the register asked me why I didn't spell it the common way, Abigail, to which I thought was a much better spelling. I think she escaped the tragedy. She is 25 now, by the way. Oh my god, the guy working in the registry is an absolute hero, just saving children from tragedies. What an absolute Chad. We received an anonymous tip about how you plan to spell your baby's name. This should totally be a thing. The Name Police, unironically. This beautiful little comic was also made by City Cyclops. You should totally follow them on Instagram for more little cursed comics. Heck yes. Expecting parents, please, I beg you, please look at what your child's name will be spelled backwards. Sincerely, Marlana. Anal Ram. Is that like a DDR6 RAM? Is it like the next? No? Alright. Oh, it's your little Bobby. North Korea. Did you name your child North Korea? Welcome to the world, North Korea! I almost read it as gonorrhea first. Welcome to the world, North Gonorrhea. Which one is worse? They're both pretty bad. It's Portuguese. It's pronounced Korea. That still just sounds like Korea, I'm gonna be honest. What? The Portuguese pronunciation is Correia, in Brazil at least. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea. My Portuguese is kinda rusty, and by kinda rusty, I mean non-existent. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the people who named this child probably aren't Portuguese, you know? And even if they try to use that justification, it's like, we picked this random spelling, but it totally isn't pronounced like that, you know? It's fine. And we didn't even spell it correctly or phonetically correct in the country we tried to emulate the name from. When a Nebraska man searched for his toddler's daughter's birth certificate, he was shocked to find out she was legally named Unakite 13 Hotel. The name, which appeared to be generated by a computer, was meant to be temporary after her mother surrendered the child. But 2 years later, the nonsensical name remains. Why didn't they pick, just a common name as the other name? Or is it meant to, stand out so people know it's nonsensical? This is obviously a placeholder, you know? There are a bunch of Batman symbols in the name. Otherwise, I would assume the system just named the child Steve or something.
I served a woman in the library today whose name was Carly, and her daughter was called Dolly.
She was looking for a book to help her use the potty. Poor child. It's gonna grow up thinking everything is spelled like this. Oh my god. That wonderful moment in your childhood when you're diagnosed with dyslexia because you can't spell your own name by the age of 12, but it turns out your parents just made you a massive disservice when naming you. So I met an Annie yesterday. Friends of ours just had a kid. The mom was extremely proud when she announced the kid's name was Annie. All was well until I saw a bib with the first two initials, A.V. The girl's name was Anniversary. Anniversary? Is it anniversary? Anniversary! The child's name is a mutation. I like the word mutation. It's like, your child names is an amalgamation of... That's amazing. I love that. It's a mutation of anniversary, because that's when she was conceived.
Hey, mommy, why is my name a pun of anniversary? Oh, my child, it's because we f***ed and conceived you on our anniversary. Oh, love to hear that, mom. Yay!
You know that names often have an old-fashioned meaning, right? You know, depending on which ancient culture or whatever it comes from, it means something, like Little River or Little Stink Pack, stuff like that. Imagine that when you just name your child and be like, what does the name mean? It's the date when we conceived you. Wow. Ooh, cream pie anniversary, baby. Edit. I didn't think this would resonate as much as it did with everyone. But to be fair, I guess it's better than when a buddy of mine seriously thought his wife would let him name their kid Shrek. I'm gonna be honest though. I would rather be called Shrek than be named after the time and date my parents got railed, okay? Stop naming your kids after where or what, you f***ed! Ooh, this could be a sign. You know the dude on Instagram that like holds up signs? He could totally hold up a sign with this. This would be valid. This world is a prison. Gen Z Amish kid named Skibidaya. If my kid doesn't behave, I'm gonna rename them to Skibidaya. I swear to God. Maybe that's like a threat. I usually joke about, like in the future, if I have kids and they misbehave, I'm not gonna like ground them or take away their allowance. I'm just gonna use slang very confidently and very wrong in front of their friends, right? To embarrass them. I think that's quite a lot of dad points. But this is like threat one level up, you know? If you like punish them first by using slang in front of their friends, and they double down and they keep dealing drugs to the kindergartens or whatever, then you rename them to Skibidaya. Appropriate parental punishment. What the fuck? My middle name is Wolf. What is Wolf? Is it like waffle misspelled? For 30 plus years, I have used Wolf as my middle name on everything. Needed to get a passport recently, so I had my mom send me my social security card. Come to find out, it doesn't even say Wolf, but it says Wolf. It sounds like when you pronounce wolf with a funky accent. Oh, look, Ma, it's a Wolf! The passport people said they had to use Wolf because that's my legal name. Holy tragedy! Man, I feel so bad for Wolf, man. The name sounds like when a small kid that hasn't learned how to pronounce R yet tries to pronounce the name Ralph. It's like, oh, you come again, Mom, it's Wolf. Congratulations, your tiny kid version of Wolf. Oh, my condolences. Oh, yeehaw, look at them little Confederate flags, and we have a little fancy name to go along with that now, don't we? It's Rayleigh Her name sounds like Scooby-Doo saying the word alien. Wait, alien? It does. Man, that goes along pretty well with the flags on display now, doesn't it? Oh, Mom, what is this pride flag about? Oh, Timmy, this is the incest pride flag. Oh, boy. This is the marry your cousin pride flag. Kind regards, Rapunzel. Rapunzel? I see we all came here to make the same joke. I feel so seen. This community is beautiful. It makes everyone else feel... It creates a lot of feelings, yeah. Oh, we're back to North Korea. That's beautiful.
Okay, super awkward. Some of you pointed out that his name sounds like North Korea. Luckily, we have a backup. Anal Bead. I guess we'll use our second choice. Welcome, Anal Bead. Wow, that is so beautiful. I love that. We wanted to bring in some of Blorp's heritage. It's pronounced Ekal Bead.
Wow, that's some great heritage. Yes, indeed. You know, the family Anal Bead that's been passed down through generations, and you are named after it. That is so good. Yup, obviously satire. It is. I know these people, and the wife is a comedian. That is so freaking funny. That is so freaking funny. I remember I did something similar, not name a child anal bead, but I went to Twitter and posted like a fake math problem with like, you know, PEMDAS that Twitter always freaks out about because people, middle school math and all that kind of stuff. But I only gave wrong answers. So all the answers in this quiz were wrong, and people are freaking out about it. They had like thousands of updates and stuff, and people like freaking out and like being really mad at me. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, satire and rage bait do be a thing. Oh my god.
My husband hears me talk about this sub daily. I asked him to label his cookies with his name, and this is what he did.
David. Is his name David? Your man is a keeper. He's like memeing on your sense of humor. This is great. This is what a marriage is supposed to look like. We got a musky husky post. The king of tragedeighs. Elon Musk's children. The billionaire is rumored to have 13 kids with 4 different women. So here are 4 different women, and we have Griffin, Vivian, Damien, Saxon, Kai, Nevada. Secret Love Child is certainly an odd name, but most of it doesn't stand out that much, you know? Then we have Xue, then we have Axa Dark, Side Rail, Techno Mechanicus, Unnamed is also a shit name, Strider, and Azure. I mean, to be fair, there is like, there is an ancient wizard in Elden Ring that is named Azure, you know, and there are spells named after it too, so I can kind of vibe with that. I'm very disappointed though that Techno Mechanicus wasn't named like Adeptus Mechanicus. As a 40k fan, that would have vibed better. So I'm like half on board with a couple of these ones, and that's not because I'm particularly hinged. I am very unhinged as well, for various different reasons, but man, this is a disservice to your kids. My god.
Daddy-daughter dance photos. Look how happy they look. Wow. I love
this pic? And when did Felony get so grown up? Overnight, it seems. Did you name your child Felony? Oh yeah, we should name our child so the other kids know that she's a bad girl. Let's name her Felony. Ooh, we have a son. Let's name him Aggravated Assault. Wow. Oh my god. You will not fucking believe what this girl I saw on TikTok is called. What? This. She says it's pronounced Faye. But how? That's just vowel obsession. What the what does the I even do? I have no idea. Faye. Yeah, it's sort of like, it's like if you pronounce Faye, but you're really drunk while doing it. It's like, you know? Yeah, I can see that. I never thought I would have a post for the sub. My neighbor is 21. 29 is apparently hard to pronounce. My neighbor is 29 is pregnant after more than a decade of trying. I have a lot of patience for her because my kids were happy accidents. I cannot imagine how horrible 10 years of fertility treatment was. I go over for coffee at least once a week. Today she was excitedly showing me her latest baby gear haul, and she invited me upstairs to check out the nursery. It is a beautifully painted underwater scene with baby's name included. The baby's name is Edison, pronounced Addison. It's almost spelled like ADHD, isn't it? Anyway, in addition, baby's middle name starts with S, as does the last name. So Addison's initials will be S. I'm currently crocheting an amigurumi octopus for the nursery, and I had considered embroidering the baby's name on a tentacle. Ah, yes. The baby octopus ass. Wonder how mom would feel about Sonny as a nickname. Edit, forgot to put that she doesn't know if she's having a boy or a girl they want to surprise. So Addison works in either case. That's wow, that's absolutely amazing. Wow, there's so many other names you can pick that would work in either case. Or just have two options or whatever, or pick a gender neutral one. Like, why a tragedy? And why one that makes the initial S? Update. My neighbor came over to return some stuff, then I invited her into my studio to see the progress on the octopus. I was describing how I was going to monogram the initials and drew her a little diagram. She had not considered the initials, but the penny dropped as soon as she saw it written, and she was absolutely mortified. She flicked her hubby a message, and he rang a few minutes later and was laughing so hard he could barely talk. No progress on the tragedy, but at least the kid won't be a little ass. That's good. You did your neighbor kid a great favor, and it sounds like the husband thought it was pretty funny too. Okay, you did a good deed. You're the hero. You're the hero of this story. Oh, no. Oh, God, it's family reels. Nah, man. Names we liked and almost used for our babies. Okay, at least this is names they almost used, right? Hopefully they didn't pick anything that was actually worse. Acre, I read it as acne first. Alter, Bates, Bindi, Brewer. I sort of frick with Brewer, okay? I sort of frick with Brewer. Like, I'm a fan of beer as one of the boys, you know? I could be a brewer. Casimir, Kazi, Cleary, Coast, Cost. Just name them sunk cost fallacy. Cypress, if we had a girl, this was going to be her name. Curran, Dacker, or Darcy, Darcy, I guess, Dasri? I don't even know, man. Fallon, okay, sort of works. Fielding, and Ions. Oh no, it keeps going. Jetty, Koza, Ledger, Levy, Odeza. Some of these names aren't awful. Like, most of them are at least easy to spell, right? But I would still argue they're a bit on the quirky side, you know? But they're not the worst I've seen, okay? It can definitely be worse. r/baby names. Help me make this name work, please. I'm a guy, and my last name is Payne. I realized that if my son's name is Champagne, that would be dope. But I need to have the first name be something that sounds reasonable and wouldn't raise my wife's suspicions, but can clearly be shortened to Sham. Any thoughts? Shamuel? I'm also not entirely convinced about, like, having your kid's nickname be Sham. That sounds sort of like a grounds for bullying. Just name them Max Payne, like a normal person, okay? Happy 9th birthday to my dear baby girl, Chlamydia Rose. Did I read that correctly? Chlamydia, I guess so. Chlamydia Rose, I love you so much and you have stolen my heart, so I named you after a STD. Woo! My mom gasped at this list of my kindergartner's classmates. Sorry to be so late with the names. I guess it took a while to figure out the spellings. Here we go. Aviana, Tinley, Emily. A normal one. Griffin, Avery. Holy sh*! We have a few normal names. There is hope for the future. Sage, Cadence, Cadence, I guess. Rex, Carson, Logan, Leonidas. Okay, I kind of frick with that name. It's a little bit like, okay, but fine. Leela, Nyanzi, Jax with 2 X's, Taylin, and Ranger. Well, that's absolutely amazing. I think so many of these parents forget that the names they choose for their kids aren't gonna be a name that is permanently like on a baby or a kindergartner. Like, imagine when they're an old man sitting there with their long gray beard and like a stick in like 2090, and they're like, "Oh yes indeed, kiddo, sit around Grandpa Jackson Linley, and I'll tell you the tales of my classmate K-dancing." No!
Class list. Achilles?
I can kind of frick with that. Piper? Not awful. That's just a bunch of variables, man. That's just a bunch of... No. Harley and Kaylee. Why did you name your child Zizg? How do you pronounce this? Zizg? Just the noise of a bee?
Yeah, when my parents were fricking and made me, they were stung by a bee, so they named me after the buzzing of a bee.
I am helping my daughter write valentines to her class, and I think we may have just misspelled Brinkley's name. No, not Brinkley's. I mean, to be fair, she can't spell her own name either, so I think you're good, man.
The meaning behind her name. Prima means first in Italian and best in Latin. But for us, it represents being one of a kind, just like her big brother Alpha.
And then comes the third child, Sigma.
Her name carries power, meaning, and legacy.
Prima in Spanish is cousin. I'm dating Prima. Prima in Dutch means fine, okay, in the most unenthusiastic or uneventful kind of way. Like, how was work today? It was fine, it was prima. We named our child alright. I'm also gonna be honest and go out on like a really, really tiny limb here and say that the parents of this child probably don't speak Italian. I'm just gonna be honest. This is like some suburban American, you know?
Happy Valentine's Day to from William.
Oh, I think it's supposed to be like French inspired. So it's supposed to be like Willy, right? And you have a Y there because it's quirky, and the ox is silent, you know? So it's Willy, not Willy Ox. I love this so much.
I'm a genuine need help finding a girl name. I am 33 weeks.
That sentence is atrocious, and why do you have random spacings between some words?
And every name I came up with just wasn't it. Any ideas? Light bulb emoji. Please help. Unique/different. Example: Olakia, Habella, Mizania, Girl. That sounds like a I don't know, like a German name for a shower gel brand. Something made up or something you never heard of.
Darth Sauron. There you go. You're welcome. Pregnant life. 6 #generations of women in the same family. Baby Neela arrival makes Scots women's nation's only great-great-great-gran. Oh, okay, that sentence was weird. Make Scots woman's nation's only great-great-great... Okay, that sentence was kind of wild. A family from Edinburgh has become one of only a handful across the UK to have 6 generations alive at the same time. And thanks to the birth last month of the latest generation, Mary, 86, has become Scotland's only great-great-great-gran. Mary, 86, with Rose, 68, Cheryl, 50, Carrie, 35, Tony Lee, 17, and 2-week-old Nyla. Okay, so 17 years, so that's not... Okay, that number also isn't... That's like 18, that's not... It's just 6 generations of teenage pregnancies, man. Oh my god. The legacy is going strong. And let's also mix a little bit of tragedy in there. Yay.
The reason I had children and named them abhorrent things is so I could have quirky designs on the back of my car. Here are they. Michaela, but here we also have Maclee and Trayton.
I feel like my dyslexia just increased by 10% after reading this. That feels great. Valentine's Day class list. Callie Joe, Teddy Joe, Tatum, Maxwell, Kagan, Jeremy, Handsome. It's like the parents that named their child Smexy. Prince and Shane. Whoever named Handsome is like,
but we were calling him Handsome all the way when he was a baby, so let's just name him Handsome.
It's like when you have a nickname for a baby, like, ooh, little cupcake bundle of joy. It doesn't mean that you should actually name your child Cupcake Bundle. Miari Aiklin? Okay.
My little star, Miari Aiklin, made her grand entrance into the world on, I don't know. Mommy loves you and can't wait to experience life with you. Her name is hard to pronounce, but congratulations.
It's not hard. That's the top comment. You picked a bit of a difficult name. No, we didn't. No, you just suck at reading. Have you considered that? Imagine finding out you're dyslexic from Instagram comments when a mom of a tragedy told you the name is indeed not hard to pronounce. Mizur Akani. Okay, this is something that I would name like a trader in a D&D adventure. Okay? Uncommon and pretty baby names for 2024. Oh, let's go. I'm so excited. Halo. Kind of cringe, but not too bad. Brina. Okay. Starling. Don't name your child Starling. They're gonna go to a job interview in 20 years and try to convince someone to take them seriously while named Starling. Jaslyn. The family really likes jazz, so there's that, I suppose. My granddaughters are Remy Rose and Ebony Rose and Sapphire. Why does it sound like stripper names?
I have an Audrea and also a Darika, which is pronounced Derica.
Oh my god, you can't just make up pronunciations. Phonetics are a thing, for God's sake.
For our girl, we came up with Malin. I've always loved Haven or London. My daughter is Cassidy. My name made a list.
Jaslyn. my name made it to a list of cringe TikTok baby names. No.
I just named my baby girl Vanil.
Is it pronounced vanilla or vanille? Why? These are awful names, especially Anya. Sounds like in your... I'm sorry I can't take some of these seriously. My new granddaughter's name is Ligurhuri. Oh, my brain melted a bit. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, God. My brain cannot be smooth if it's liquid.
I named my daughter Khaleesi.
Very nice. Did you name your daughter back in 2016 or something?
No, I didn't name her after some show called Game of Thrones. Some show. I actually never heard of it or seen it.
That's a lie. That is so awesome. Don't gas her up! She gave her child a shitty name, and now she's doubling down on where she found it. Don't gas her up, for God's sake. My friend's sister has committed a tragedy. A friend of mine's sister, F26, recently had her first child. A boy. They decided to name him Jesus. If that weren't enough, they are spelling it Geosus. I'm assuming they aren't Hispanic. I'm assuming the name isn't like Jesus, you know? It's like Jesus. Great. I already feel bad for the kid. Oh, Geosus wept. I'm guessing they aren't Hispanic because Jesus is popular, but Geosus is ridiculous. They are white. Of course they are. Baby names, we are doing 6 weeks. Oh, let's see if we have some hinged names in this fine little poll. I am betting no. Xoilali, Lani, May. So what do you mean? Is it pronounced Zedolamni May? How is the kid even gonna learn its own name? Anasi, An-I-Ease, Lane, Ximhena, Hi, Rene, none. That's the name. I guess it's like an option added by the voters. So it's like, don't pick any of these names. Eritrea, Mercury, May, Persephone, Persephone. Okay. A name people can't pronounce. That's probably good. I cannot for the life of me understand why the top voted name in this option is Seolani May. Seolani. Why are people such a big fan of like X's and Z's and stuff where they don't belong?
I have 3 other children whose names are Xyra, Exyria.
It's not pronounced like that, is it? Like, why are people just making up phonetics? Like, am I being gaslit here? I feel like this is not how the phonetics work.
Elixyr, Alion,
Eon. Okay. If you have to send people like a tutorial on how to pronounce your baby's names, like we're not even talking about cross-culture stuff and that kind of stuff, which of course then names can be difficult to pronounce because you're not used to seeing it or whatever, it might be a completely different alphabet or what have you. Like that is perfectly fine and reasonable, you know, and that's not a tragedy, obviously. But if you're naming your child, like in the language, in your native language that you live in, but you still have to send people a tutorial of how to pronounce it, it's not a good children's name. Dear God.
Naomi.
Almost normal.
We don't do traditional in this household. Normal names are boring to us.
Yeah, it's such a shame when your child can spell their own name before they're 18. That's just making life too easy for them. Don't make them little soft beta cucks.
Girl, don't feel bad. I named my kid Vincentenox. Vincentenox. And Leo Evander. Oh, so it's like Leo and Lavender, I guess. It's like Leo Evander. Ha 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 ha! I couldn't settle on a boy name, so I made my own lol. I just call them Vinny and Leo.
Okay, so you can't even pronounce the names that you made up for your own kids, so they still go by pretty normal nicknames. That's great. That is such like a self-call-out, I'm gonna be honest.
You came up with a beautiful name. It's just long as and they don't have to go by that. It's unique.
Yeah, just name them something so incredibly complicated, they will never even use it, and they just come up with a different, simpler nickname anyway. Dear commenter, what the f*** is the point then? The f*** is the point? Ooh, here we got little baby shoes. We have Carson. Okay, that is not the worst thing ever. Like Carson, it's still like, you know, phonetically easy to read. Carson. Okay, I would still argue, like spell it normally or whatever, but it's not the worst thing out there, okay? It's one of the original tragedies. After joining this page, it almost looks normal. That's what I'm saying. Like, my pain receptors to wacky names have gone up so drastically after reading the subreddit. I would say it's a misdemeanor on the tragedy scale because I can read it as Carson on the first glance. Not a misdemeanor.
I need tragedies for the name Winter. So my cousin is pregnant and due in May. She's naming her daughter Winter, but has not disclosed the spelling and said it's absolutely not going to be spelled the traditional, boring way. So my family and I are guessing how she's spelling it, and we've come up with Winter, Winter, and Winter thus far. So please join the fun.
Haha, Winter. It's classy because we is French.
Wintre is even Frencher. Oh, excuse me, Frenchiest.
Autumn, but it's pronounced like winter. My dog is mad at how hard I laughed at that. Yeah, when they just make up phonetics, it's like, here is button mash name. It's pronounced Carl. Treasure. Treasure? Is it supposed to be pronounced treasure? Is this actually supposed to be treasure? Oh my god, poor child.
My name is the bird emoji, but the bird is silent.
You know, ancient Egyptian names often end with a silent glyph, like dude, meaning it's a name of a man. So in this case, it means he is a chicken.
This chicken is not silent enough.
I learned something new today. Parmesan. Even the cheese is being tragedied now. That is such a shame. This kind of is a crossover between tragedy and bone apple tea. That's kind of beautiful. I didn't think about that. Like, bone apple tea is basically tragedies for food. I was a library assistant for 3 years. Here are the worst names I saw. Broxlind takes the first place. The dear girl went by B. You see, that's what I mean. When you make up a name that's so complex to just pick like a simple nickname anyway and don't even use the OG, why did you bother making such a complicated name to begin with? Why? Never got the story behind her name.
Oh, it's probably because, like, her parents fricked in Brox, and it was the leant month of the year, so now the child is named Broxleant.
A pair of brothers named River and Stone, fully meant to be a pair name. The mom told me if Stone had been a girl, her name would have been Bend. Not Bendy, just Bend. And the boy would have been named Crack. Iron. Her mom wanted her to have a tough name. Ironically, she was very sweet and easygoing.
Ha! Should have named her Cotton Pad then.
32 beer emojis, wife, a ring emoji, crimson, and Srixrin's mommy heart emojis, nurse, jab emoji, adventure seeker, rocket emoji. These names are going to the moon. Invest now.
Crimson, I understand how to pronounce. Srixin? Is it really Srixin? It sounds like a tongue twister that you give to kids in school as a challenge. You know, like in Sweden we have those kind of tongue twisters where it's like sex sjösjuka sjömän på skeppet Shanghai sköttes av 7 sköna sjuksköterskor. You know, like tongue twisters like that.
Don't let her spell it crazy, lol.
Ruby? Ruby?
It's your little kitten. Oh my god, it's a good kitten. I am Abigail and I love my belly rubs.
Okay, this one I'm pretty fine with. Like, naming your pets Tragedeigh isn't particularly bad, because your pets don't understand their name, they're not gonna get bullied by classmates, and they're not gonna sit in a job interview in 20 years trying to explain why their name actually is Little Sunshine Lollipop Sprinkle, you know? So this I'm perfectly fine with. If you want to name a dark, evil-looking cat Darth Sauron, do it. Queerston? Quierston? Is it Kristen? Is this supposed to be Kristen? Nah. Cassander. No. Well, at least you're not gonna mix up the chairs. Like, what are the odds of having 2 Xanders in the same class, you know? So maybe that's why it's like now they can never mess up anything, because how do you mix it up? It's so unique. Ah, that was beautifully painful. Thank you so much for watching this beautiful video with me. I do hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed having you here. Remember to check out the little plushies, link in the description, and also the pins. They're out now. It's absolutely amazing, and I'm looking forward to see all the pictures you send me on social media when they are shipping. Thank you all so very much, you wonderful, beautiful beings, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, because it deserves the rest of the day. Bye. Mwah.